When you are called on for your question,
I gotta
please
shoot
state
back.
your name and affiliation first, please. Sorry. Adam Rittenberg.
Yeah, Jaime, congratulations. You guys are down 14 late in the first half. How big was?
I think you cut out. Um,
So you got me.
yeah, I got you now. I got you now.
Yeah, sorry about that. You guys are down 14. Late in the first half. I know you hit a big shot there at the end. What changed for you guys in the second half, and what does it say about your team that you were able to come all the way back and force overtime and then ultimately win this game?
I think it says a lot about our team and our resilience that we have. We knew coming out of the first half that that's not the half of basketball that we are used to playing. So we knew we had to come out in the second half with a different energy, defensive mindset, and try to get steals in transition.
Bill Plaschke.
Yeah, Jaime, what's going through your mind? You're down 5 with 90 seconds left.
Oh, you cut out again.
What's going through your mind? You're down 5 with 90 seconds left.
What's going through my mind? Win the game. That's a lot of time. There's a lot of time left on the clock. You can do a lot in those 90 seconds. And, I wasn't thinking about losing this game. I didn't think, there was any chance that we couldn't come back and win. So, winning was on my mind the entire time.
Carter Hill.
Hey, Jaime, congratulations on the win. Just wanted to ask you, going into the overtime period, you obviously had the momentum, but you guys have played in a lot of overtime games this year compared to Michigan State. Did you think that had any advantage over the Spartans in this one? How did that help you guys in this game?
I think that was an advantage towards us, just because that's a position that we're used to playing in. Like you said, we've been in a lot of overtime games, and when we get into overtime, we know that's when we got to turn up the heat and really win this game.
Thank you.
John Fanta.
Yes, Jaime, John Fanta, College Hoops Digest.
You guys, I don't know what's happening, but you guys keep cutting out in the middle of the question.
Hey, I got you back.
Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is.
And hopefully it's
Sorry, John, about that.
Don't worry about it. For you to have a career night in your NCAA tournament debut, how much did you relish this big stage, and just what was the feeling, the difference of a March Madness game?
It's just a big stage. I mean, as a kid, everyone dreams about playing in this tournament. And, this is March Madness. You could really, I know, it might be corny, but you could feel the madness when you're in the gym. We had, as many fans as we did. You felt the energy. The energy was there. It was live. We're playing in John Wooden's home court, so that's definitely meant something to us. We wanted to come in here and get the win for him. But, yeah, I mean, this is the greatest time of the year for a college basketball player.
Kevin Fielder.
Hey, Jaime, congratulations. Obviously, going into this game, was there a mission for you to try and get going early and try and start hitting your shots early?
I don't think it was really a mission of me scoring the ball. It was more of a mission of me, doing whatever I can to help the team win. And, tonight that was scoring. I tried to play as best defense as I could tonight, try to get deflections, try to get steals, block shots, rebound, everything. So my determination coming into this game was to do whatever it takes to win.
Sam King.
I'm Sam King from the Journal and Courier in Lafayette.
How you doing?
I screwed up again. Sorry.
All right, Jaime, let's try this again.
Okay.
You mentioned John Wooden, and obviously he's all around this place. He's got a jersey hanging up in here. He's got his number up in the rafters. He's got a statue outside. Did you guys get a chance to delve into that history a little bit when he showed up for practice, or did Coach Cronin talk about that at all?
I mean, when we practiced here, it was pretty late at night. It was like I think at like 9, 10:30 at night. So we kind of just went in and got out. But obviously as UCLA basketball players, we know the history of John Wooden and what he meant to this school and what he meant to UCLA. So yeah, just coming in here was something really special, really special.
Bill Plaschke again.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, how is this team a reflection of Coach Cronin?
I think just tonight we showed the resilience that we have and the toughness that it takes to win. He's a really tough coach. He's hard on us, but he brings out the best in us. As you guys saw tonight, we were down 14 in the first half, and then we come back and win the game in overtime. I think just that game really shows what type of coach he is and how he's never going to give up on us.
Kevin McCatskill.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Congratulations on the win tonight. Look good out there, man.
Thank you very much.
You haven't shot this many free throws since February. Were you being more aggressive on purpose, or was it a coincidence?
I didn't know that stat, so I guess I don't really have an answer for that. I think just me being more aggressive tonight, especially on the offensive end. When you're aggressive on offense, you tend to get fouls and go to the free throw line. So, yeah.
Thank you, man. Congratulations.
You. Appreciate it.
Do we have any other further questions? Are we good? Okay, Jaime, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm on, man, if you can hear me.
We've got Coach Cronin here. Coach, congratulations on the win. We're going to ask you to begin with an opening statement. For the media, please use your raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you're called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Coach, give us a brief opening statement and then we'll go to questions.
Well, obviously, very happy for our guys. We've been through a long year with injuries and losing guys, and then recently struggled to close some games out, and despite playing well at times. So the players really needed this. So I'm really, really happy for the guys. They've been battling hard, and was really concerned with their confidence being shook after what we've gone through in the last few weeks. Pac-12 obviously didn't help us, making us go to Oregon in our last week. Put us on a 3-game road trip, and we lost Johnny for the USC game, and then Oregon State got on a roll, and we missed free throws and lost that one. So our confidence was definitely shaken. So we were trying to as a coaching staff, make sure that we pumped them up as much as we could, getting ready for tonight. But Michigan State came out playing really well. Their offensive execution in the first half was as good as I've seen them. Their shooting, their passing, they pretty much got whatever they wanted against us. So we huddled up at halftime as a coaching staff and tried to turn up the heat defensively in the second half and try to make them uncomfortable as much as we could. The kids responded, and I thought our intensity level obviously went way up in the second half defensively. Got a lot of contributions. Obviously, Jaime and Johnny put the ball in the basket for us. But Jalen Clark, I thought, gave us some big minutes as well. But anyways, just obviously a great win and a great game, 2 storied programs. I got as much respect for Tom Izzo as anybody in the business. So big win for us.
Okay, Adam Grossbard.
Mick, given the way the last 4 games had gone for your team, what does it tell you about your guys, the way they came back from down 14 and then, down again in the last couple of minutes to tie it and win in overtime?
Well, that's Bruin basketball now. For me, it used to be Bearcat basketball. I just told the team, we won the game on an offensive rebound. We tied the game on an offensive rebound, got the loose ball, tipped it, got an and one to tie the game. That's the type of stuff that are hallmarks of winning programs. Tom Izzo's team's been doing those things for a long time. So, in our quest to build our culture and our toughness, for me, it was really fitting that we won that way, and we had to come back. But it just shows you, these games are never over. Look, anybody can win these games. Or neutral sites. Everybody's in quarantine. The kids playing in this tournament, all these teams are playing out of their minds, and I can promise you it's not the same for the kids. So, go ahead.
I saw you share a moment with your dad after the game. What did it mean to you to have that moment? What did he have to say to you?
It's good to see him. He's getting old, man. I'm teasing. I talk to him every day. I wake up, and as I'm heading down Sepulveda, I call him, ask him how the weather is in Cincinnati, and I explain to him the sun's already coming up over the Santa Monica Mountains. I got to put my sunglasses on, so I mess with him every day. But, yeah, I had not seen my dad since our Arizona State win last year at the end of February. COVID hit. He canceled his flight to Vegas. Trying to stay safe, not traveling on airplanes. So talking to somebody every day, it's weird. It's weird to see him. You're talking about you guys got to remember now, this guy's like last year, I know he lives in Cincinnati, but he's flying out every month, spending a week with me. So it was great. Now I get to see him again.
Hey, Adam Rittenberg.
Hey, Mick, Adam Rittenberg at ESPN. Congratulations. You mentioned that confidence has been an issue for your team, and then you go down 14. You're still down big at halftime. How did you guys restore that confidence to a point where you're able to come back and win?
Well, obviously I coach at a place where, the best coach ever used to sit in a chair, and, Coach Wooden said, greatness is giving your best effort. He never talked about winning or losing. I was concerned with our effort in the first half. You know, I didn't talk about, you know, and I really don't talk about winning or losing a lot with these guys. I try to talk to them about their effort. And in trying to build our program and trying to get them to understand there's a difference between effort and winning effort, championship effort. So we talked about our effort. That was really our concern at halftime. You know, you're on this stage against Michigan State, you know, down the street from not far from Lansing. They haven't had to travel. We're coming across the country, all the above. You know, but it's all an excuse. There's 40 minutes, and you know, you got to give your best effort. So that's really was our concern.
Okay, Bill Plaschke.
Yeah, Coach, how compelling was it that you did this in basically Wooden's home gym?
Yeah.
Under his banner with his, you know, his sort of style of play.
Yeah, I couldn't find a statue the other night when we got up here to practice. It was so late. We didn't start practice till 9:30, and you're only allowed down certain hallways. There's people with signs. You can't go here. You can't go there. And I understand it all. So I think we're done playing here. So I got try to see that statue before I leave. But maybe you know, Coach's luck was with us. You know, I might have to text his son. Text Jim down in Orange County. Hopefully he was watching tonight. Hopefully Coach gave us some luck, get some made threes, some made free throws. But I think, Bill, you know, we were due for some luck as well. You know, it's been a rough couple weeks for us. The ball's not bounced our way at all. But obviously, yeah, it's really, for me, it's cool. You know, it's cool to be the UCLA coach, Bill. It's extremely cool for me. But yeah, you know, to have this win here, you know, with his jersey up there was, you know, now that you talk about it, it's, you know, maybe he was looking down on us.
Okay, Carter Hill.
Hey, Coach, Carter Hill from Fifth Quarter. Congratulations on the win. That was a really fun game to watch. I'm just curious. I asked Jaime the same question. You guys have played in a lot of overtime games this season. Michigan State had not played in any. Do you think that created a significant advantage for you this evening?
Respectfully, no. I think Tom Izzo's coached a lot of overtime games. So no, I really don't think that was a factor. You know, I think, and I don't believe anybody fouled out on either team. So foul trouble was in play, but we were able to get Cody through without fouling out, which was helpful to us.
Okay, Sam
Thank
King.
you.
Coach Sam King, Lafayette Journal and Courier. UCLA is 3-0 here now, but they've been decades apart between games. Obviously, Michigan State plays here pretty much every year. Was there concern that this is a gym that they're very familiar with? They've shot here, you know, basically every season in the Big Ten.
Very much a concern. Also, the proximity to Lansing, to travel, everything. But, you know, like I said earlier, you know, there's a game, there's a clock and a score, and so 40 minutes, and it's all at zero. So, you know, try to build my program to where, you know, those things don't matter. Excuses are, they may be valid, but this game, you know, it didn't give them any extra points.
Okay, Kevin Fielder.
Hey, Coach, Kevin Fielder from Fifth Quarter. Congratulations. You know, you've obviously coached in a lot of NCAA tournament games. Where does Jaime's performance rank among those, and what made tonight so special for him?
Well, obviously, you know, first of all, the game plan, I thought we had a big advantage with him. I thought that Hall and Hauser would struggle to guard him. So going in, he knew I was coming his way with a lot of stuff. But, you know, one thing about Jaime that I knew was important, you know, when I took the job, I knew Jaime had already signed, and I had seen him and made a veiled attempt at recruiting him. He's way too smart. You know, he wasn't going to turn down UCLA. So, but I know what the competitor that he is. So none of it's surprised. You know, Jaime's almost better when we're down. You know, he's got tremendous heart. But I thought he had some favorable matchups. And then late they put Henry. You know, they had to, you know, what we did. So Coach Izzo went smaller and put Aaron Henry on him to try to stop him. So, you know, Johnny got it going as well. But we were going to have to score some points, guys, because you know, the way they played offensively to catch them, we were going to have to get the ball in the basket.
Okay, John Fanta.
Hey, Mick, John Fanta, College Hoops Digest. Congratulations on the win. You've alluded to it in a variety of ways, but to be down 5 with 90 seconds left in regulation, to be facing, as you said, someone who you have a lot of respect for in Coach Izzo, and to kind of be on the opening night of this stage that we've been waiting for 2 years. Just when you came to this program, how much did you think of a moment like this? And now what's the reward of taking this step in the NCAA tournament and moving on?
Well, whenever you're trying to build a program, right, it builds belief in your locker room. You know, when we play with, we play with championship effort, that we can win games. And this is what it's going to take. This is what it's going to take. Well, our reward is we get to play BYU, which, is going to be no small task. They played well. They were up 12 on Gonzaga. I was home watching that game. I thought they might have had them. So that's our reward. But obviously from a program standpoint, when you take over a program, there's no tournament last year. We were going to make it, and it was taken away from the kids. So I think I speak for all coaches that, it's just so nice to be able to have the kids get a chance to do this. But when you're building a program, it's obviously a big win for us and step forward in the right direction. But we got more work to do, guys.
Okay, Coach, it's time for one more question. Tracy Pearson, please.
Hey, Mick. I came in a little late, so I don't know if you answered it.
Okay.
How was it? First off, how was it to see your father tonight? Yeah. And secondly, talk a little bit about Jalen Clark's contribution.
Well, it's great to see my dad. Some things never change. Even though I wasn't there, they had my credit card at dinner when my family met here. So, but no, I'm just teasing. He's looking good. I got to get him some new shirts, hopefully with the Jordan stuff. I haven't given him any Johnny O, who hooked us up this year to get through the season. So, it's a great question, though, Tracy. I thought, there's no way we win without Jalen Clark. We have to play some small ball. Max should be in high school, so he's doing his best. But the toughness and intensity to Jalen Clark, that's why I signed him. I should have listened to his AAU coach when I got the job, who told me Jalen Clark needs to play for you. You guys were made for each other. You just got to have competitors on your team. But that said, he made a couple really good plays where, to be able to just jump in a game. He doesn't ever practice at the 5 spot. And he had a couple of nice offensive reads of their defense where he made some really good plays. He scored a bucket. He assisted on another bucket. And then, his defense and rebounding is always on point. So he was huge for us.
Okay, that's all the questions for Coach tonight. Coach Cronin, congratulations on the win and advancing to the first round.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Hello?
Thank you for participating today. We'll begin momentarily with an opening statement from Coach Izzo and then go to questions. We ask that you use the raise hand function to indicate you'd like to ask a question. And when you are called on, please state your name and affiliation first. Coach, a brief opening statement, and then we'll go to questions.
Well, just disappointed. I mean, we had the game won, and, you know, we made some of the same mistakes we've made 2 or 3 times this year in critical situations. And I thought we played incredibly well offensively and incredibly poor defensively, and give them a lot of credit. They made some plays. We were up 5-6. It seemed like we had it in control, and you know, we just didn't rebound the ball like we could have or should have, especially under some situations. So is what it is. It's a shame, because I thought we played some of our best offensive basketball of the year. So whatever questions you got, I'd love to take them.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go to questions from the media now, starting with Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press. Chris, go ahead and unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Thanks. Hey, Tom, you know, in those final 2 minutes, obviously, when you go back up 5 there and they had taken the lead, what happened with the foul situations there? You guys got, obviously, they got to the line a couple times. Was that their driving and getting contact, or was there some things defensively maybe that you didn't like?
Well, there were some things I didn't like defensively. I thought we had some tendencies that we talked about, who goes right, who goes left, and then they miss fouls, and then they get their free throw rebounds. And so it was just a cluster of things that happened. Like, I think it was in the last minute in the quarter. I don't know. I really don't have the timeline to it. But we didn't deserve to win at the end the way we handled that situation. And we let him, with a left-handed guy drive left, a right-handed guy drive right, and didn't get a couple of key rebounds, and you lose games. I mean, we said all along our margin for error is very slim, and yet I say that when, boy, that first half and in part of the second, I thought we moved the ball so well and really played really good basketball. And you know, we made a couple mistakes right before the half. We're supposed to switch. We didn't switch, and they hit a shot. I mean, those things, you know, you don't have many margins for error when you're, you know, just a good basketball team, which we are.
Next, we go to Andre Monroe from. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Andre Monroe with Ansar Institute. Coach, you and Gabe Brown, they had sort of a heated exchange going into the halftime. Can you tell us what that was about?
You guys are beautiful. Yeah, he missed a play, and I told him, and he walked away, and so I told him to come back. I mean, we went through this a couple of years ago. A game like that, that's the question you're going to ask me. I guess I'll answer it, because the media has the right to ask whatever question, but, you know, we'll get him in here, and you can ask him. I mean, it was a normal nothing. It's just that this day and age, everything's something. It was over a missed switch that we had talked about.
Next question from Kyle Austin.
Tom, last play of regulation, wondering what you were looking for in that play with Aaron's shot and how that played out.
Well, I was looking for Aaron to get to the basket where he could either get fouled, and I think we played Aaron so much he would just run down. You know, Josh was hurt a little bit at halftime, and we just kind of grinded both those guys, and he just didn't have enough legs. But the deal was to just take it in there and pump fake and get fouled, and we didn't do that. So it was probably a poor play call on my part.
Next question to Matt Charbonneau.
Tom, you talked about some of the defensive mistakes late in the game. With the way you guys played late in some of those big wins late in the year, were you a little bit disappointed that focus wasn't there at crunch time tonight?
I really was, especially some of our key guys that it happened to. But I think some of that was fatigue. And, you know, I don't know how many minutes I played, a couple of those guys, but I think they did a better job of subbing. And, you know, I mean, Aaron played 41 or 2 minutes, and Josh played 35 or 6 minutes. And I think we had some fatigue in there. We had some different guys in there, and I think that was part of it.
Next, we go to Audrey Dahlgren from WLNS.
Hey, Tom, the overtime period, the couple of possessions that you guys had, I guess, how detrimental were some of those, just in a sense that Rocket has an air ball and then, Langford goes 1-for-1 from the line and then you turn it over a couple of times. Just curious how you thought about the overtime overall.
Yeah, I think, for the game, we ended up with 12 turnovers and, we had done a pretty good job not turning the ball over. I think we had 3 or 4 at halftime. We had a couple of key ones there. We had a couple of bad shots that just didn't go in. It's nobody's trying to miss a shot. We just didn't execute as well as we should have down the stretch. But you're right. We missed a free throw. I don't know what we shot from the line. It was probably pretty good. 16 for 18, and the poor guy misses one. And I'd like to say for Josh Langford, unbelievable year. I mean, the kid gave me every single thing he had, and I think it's too bad that he had to go out that way because I thought we were a good enough team to win it. But I give Mick and his team credit because they were just a little tougher, and those guards just kept driving the ball and that's the way the game ended.
Next question to Brendan Quinn.
Hey, Tom, got to ask you, there were moments in this game where it seemed like you guys had amazing flow and things just looking great. And then there were other stretches where it just looked disconnected and disjointed. And did this all just feel like it was this season summed up in 2 hours?
Yeah, that's a damn good question. And I already think you answered it. It did seem like it. We did some really good things. We were moving the ball, and then we got stagnant and quit moving the ball. When the ball goes side to side to side, as I think it was Richard Pitino said about the third game of the year, he had a stat on how his team did when the ball moved 3 times, one side, the other side. And I thought, boy, we made some unbelievable passing plays and really did a nice job on some things. And it got a little disjointed. I would agree with that. We were running out of gas a little bit. We had some matchup problems because they went really small for a while, and we didn't handle that real well either. We just kind of ran out of one extra body. But I'd say that's a good way to put it. That's the way the season went, and you just can't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. And that falls on me. We got to do a better job of figuring out how to cut out or what to do or not turn the ball over, take a bad shot. But nobody tried to miss any shots. It wasn't anything that anybody did. It's just the way the game went.
Next question back to Chris Solari.
Tom, I wondered, you mentioned about them going small with Juzang and Jacquez. They obviously had their way at times. What was it that they were able to do, and in particular Juzang in the second half and in overtime before he got hurt?
Well, he just drove the ball. I mean, he strong kid, goes right every time, and we knew it, and we didn't always stop it. And, Josh was a little bit shaken up at halftime, his ankle. And so I tried to play Aaron on Jacquez more of the second half because he was hurting us in the first half. And so I had to play Aaron at the 4 defensively. And that hurt us a little bit too because I thought he did a pretty good job for a while, and then just the lineup changes. We just had different guys in there. But for those 2 guys to get 50 points, we said that would be the game. It was the game. I thought Rocket did a pretty good job on Campbell. He hits that one big 3. But I thought we did a pretty good job keeping him out of the lane and all the things we wanted to do. We didn't do a very good job keeping those other guys out, so give them credit.
We have time for 1 or 2 more questions for Coach, if anyone has a question. If not, we will let Coach Izzo go. All right, we have James Camperoni. Go ahead and unmute yourself, James.
Okay. Sorry if you touched on this earlier, Tom. There was a missed box out on a free throw with about 37 seconds left. Hurt you in early January also. You can only teach it so much, I would imagine. Was that a missed box out for a shooter on that situation? And how do you view that going into the post game now?
Well, I think I know what happened, but I don't know for sure. So I'll reserve the right to look at the film. But there were some box outs on free throws throughout the year that hurt us, I think 3 times or 2 times. If this was the third, that hurt us 37 seconds. But I didn't exactly know what happened. I didn't know if it was a long one. You would know more than me because you get replay. I don't. So it's tough to lose a game the way we lost it. I really mean that. I had some guys that played their tails off. Gabe Brown was one of them. Marcus Bingham was one of them. We really played extremely hard, but we just didn't make the plays that mattered. I mean, Aaron played pretty good. Like I said, I think I wore him down a little bit. That's kind of the way we had it with our guards this year. We just didn't have enough depth at that position.
All right, our final question goes to Chris Solari.
I know you talked about getting off to good starts in the halves, and you obviously got it in the first half, but then the second half and then overtime in particular, the turnovers and everything that were going on there. I mean, could you sense it at that point that things were getting away from the guys in the beginning of overtime?
Yeah, I could. I mean, I thought we looked tired, we looked fatigued, we just didn't have. Aaron's our go-to guy, and he was worn out, and so, like I said, they did a much better job of moving guys around. When they went small, they moved guys around, and they had 2 guys that played a lot of minutes too, and they missed some shots. We just didn't get the rebounds. I mean, those couple of turnovers. And a couple of missed rebounds, really hurt us. But in general, it's been a hell of a year. And I would like to say to everybody, because I listen to student athletes or media or coaches, I just want to take my hat off to Danny Gavitt and Joanne and Scott and all the people that gave us an opportunity to play. Last year we were sitting home. We had thought we had a team that was capable of getting to a Final Four, and those guys didn't even get a chance. And thanks to the incredible, to me, everything was incredible. The facilities, the food, the treatment, the practice facilities. I think it was maybe one of the greatest things that ever took place. And, sometimes even I, because I'm on some boards, malign the NCAA and different things, but I hope people realize just how big of an undertaking this was and how pleased my players were to get an opportunity to play, especially the ones that didn't get that opportunity last year. So hats off to them. Thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry, I'm not going to be staying here longer to enjoy it, but I think it'll be a hell of a tournament still because they've done everything you could possibly do in maybe the toughest times. And you had to see the practice facility and how you didn't even have to go outside and bring in lunches to your room. And I just thought, some people are complaining about it. It makes me sick because they did an unbelievable job. And I know my guys were happy as hell we got to play. And so for that, I say thank you. For our fans, I say, I feel disappointed, feel like I let you down. And, we're going to work on some things next year, probably this summer, that hopefully won't happen to us again over and over. And we'll see if we can do a better job of some of the things that did. And yet I want to make sure we reiterate, like the coaches did and the team did to Josh. He gave us so much. He bounced back and did so many things. It was damn near incredible, the effort he put forth to come back and play after nobody gave him a chance to ever play. And for that, I just want to make sure all of our alums say thank you to him. So thanks a lot for everything. I'll see you later.
Thank you, Coach. Joshua Langford will be joining us momentarily. All right, we're joined now by Joshua Langford, and we'll begin the press conference. Again, use the raise hand function to indicate you have a question. We'll start with Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Josh. The start you guys got off to, you get up 14 points, and then the start of the second half and the start of overtime. I guess in those two sections, what happened in particular with how they were driving you guys to the basket?
Yeah, I think you just said it. How they was getting to the basket, kind of at ease on us, and that kind of, hurt us. And like you said, we did come out and we had a great run, and that's one thing that we kind of said in the locker room, before the start of the game, is that we wanted to sustain, the run that we would be able to create. But we didn't do a good job of that. But credit to UCLA as well. They played well tonight, but at the same time, we didn't do as good of a job on following the scouting report.
Next question to Graham Couch.
Yes, Joshua, I'm wondering at the end, it seemed like, you guys have lost a number of different ways this year, but it seemed like you guys were a little tight at that moment, trying to recapture what you have. Did it feel like you could sense it getting away, and that was part of the performance in the final minute in overtime?
I don't know if it was that. I just think we didn't make plays down the stretch. We missed some free throws. We missed a free throw cutout. That's kind of been, the story for us in a few losses. And we knew that the margin of error for us is very slim. So, those small mistakes, we knew we couldn't have those, and we still had them.
All right, next question to Matt Charbonneau.
Josh, I'm just wondering if I know you just played, but this potentially could have been your last game here. What if thoughts are going through your mind as you walk off the court after this one?
It's a lot of emotions right now. I'm really upset that we lost. Definitely as a competitor, that I've always been, and how much potential I seen this team could have. It definitely hurts that we lose. But if you talk about individually, I have no reason to hang my head. I feel like I've gave 110%. I wasn't perfect, but I've tried to be the best that I could be for my teammates. But even tonight, I came up short with that. But at the end of the day, man, hindsight is always 20/20. You do the best you can do in the moment, and then you always look back and say what you should have did, what you could have did. But I try not to live my life like that. I just try to give 110%. And, at the end of the day, it was some plays that I even made for myself that, for my team that I shouldn't have made. But, you know, I'm not hanging my head at all because, you know, I fought through.
Next question to Chris Solari.
Josh, that start of the game though, for you guys, the way you were moving the ball, I mean, did it feel like it was maybe November and December, the way you guys were kicking the ball around, making the extra passes? I mean, was there a point in that first half where it did feel like this team was back to where it had been?
Oh yeah, I think we was doing an unbelievable job of that. And like to answer your question, you know, how I answered your question earlier, we just kind of got away from that. And I don't really think it was, you know, offensively that hurt us as much. I think it was more defensively. You know, we just didn't stick to our principles. You know, we didn't follow the scouting report as good as we should have. You know, but offensively, I think we were, you know, pretty solid. You know, of course, you say we can be better, but, you know, I think we kind of hurt ourselves, you know, on the defensive end tonight.
Next question to Brendan Quinn.
Hey, Josh. I guess now a little bit of hindsight, can you kind of describe to us a little bit of just how difficult it might have been to stay connected through this whole team, this whole season, I'm sorry, through, you know, just what you guys have to play through and then the losing that you're not used to and just how difficult the circumstances were. How tough was it for this group to make sure they kind of kept things together?
Oh, it was tough, man. It was definitely a challenge. And, you know, I don't think nobody would say this was the ideal season. Like you said, facing all the different ups and downs, the different challenges, the COVID outbreak that we had, you know, kind of in the middle of our season, right there, smack in the middle of our season. You know, Coach is getting it. And, you know, just so many different challenges this year and this season that we didn't really expect. And it definitely was tough. And, you know, the biggest thing is I think that, you know, you just have to take these lessons that you learn through persevering and use them for next year. You know, I told the guys, I said, you know, don't let this time be in vain. You know, take the things that you've learned and that we've all learned, and let's use them for, you know, the rest of our life. You know, whether you will be on the team next year or whether you be like me, getting ready to move on. I think this season has really taught me a lot about perseverance, and just how to keep fighting even when you don't feel like it. You know, even when you just think you can't go anymore. You know, so many different things that I've learned throughout the course of this season. I think we've all learned, and I think we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we didn't take those lessons with us as we move forward in our life. And so, you know, at the end of the day, it was challenging, but I think it was beneficial for us, you know, if we use it the right way.
Next question goes to Audrey Dahlgren.
Joshua, just a little bit ago, Coach Izzo was mentioning his adoration for you and the opportunity that you've had to be able to come and play in this NCAA tournament game after, you know, not having those last couple of 2 years. And so, you know, for him to be so thankful for you to have the opportunity to play, and I know it didn't end the way that you wanted it to, but what does it say, I guess, about your guys' relationship and just the fact that he's just so happy that you are able to come back and play in this game?
Oh man, coach is unbelievable, man. He's somebody that, you know, I hope to continue a relationship with even when I leave, and I think we'll always talk. I've learned so much from Coach since day one. His leadership, the way he holds people accountable, the way that he approaches things, his preparation, his mentality, so many different things, you know, I've learned from Coach. And just as much as he's thankful for me, I'm thankful for him because I know for a fact, had God not placed him in my life, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Just in terms of how I see life and my perspective and how I approach things. You know, he's been unbelievable for me. If, you know, he always say that, you know, he learns more from me that I probably learn from him, but I like to beg to differ. You know, I've learned so much from him, and he's pulled so much out of me. Just his intensity, his passion, how he approaches each day. I think it really has helped me, and I think that's why you see a lot of people just be so successful when they leave here, even if they're not playing the game of basketball, you know, when they're in business or, you know, in their relationships, you know, in so many different facets of life, you know, they're effective because, you know, Coach he just gives you that championship mindset, that winner's mentality that I'm not going to give up. I'm going to give the best that I have. I'm not going to be mediocre. He gives you that type of mindset, and I'll forever be thankful for Coach.
Next question goes to Jana Bardal.
Hey, Josh. When we were talking to Coach, he mentioned that it was hard to lose this game because of the way that you guys lost it. So looking back, are there any factors that might stand out to you, both in the game and maybe emotionally as well, that make this one a little bit harder to cope with?
Well, for starters, it's my last college basketball game with Michigan State. So that's tough. But at the end of the day, I think, really looking back on it, when you look at the ins and outs of the game, defensively, I think we really hurt ourselves. And, you kind of, when you play the game, you don't want to lose because you didn't control the things you can't control. Mission shots, those are things that you can't necessarily control, but, you always want to look back and say, I controlled the things that are in my control. And, tonight we didn't necessarily do a good job of controlling, the things that we can control on the defensive end. So, that I think that's the toughest part, just looking back and seeing, what we did and how we lost the game.
Okay, that will do it. Unfortunately, Josh, we're going to have to let you go. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That wraps up the post-game news conference for Michigan State. A transcript of Coach Izzo's interview will be provided by ASAP Sports, posted along with a recording of this press conference on the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Thank you for joining us. Good evening.